The Kansas City Metro is a cluster of cities that exists in both Kansas and Missouri, with the state border separating the two. The total population of the metro is around 2.2 million people, with 500,000 of those people living here in Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri is divided into 6 council districts, and about 85,000 people live in each council district. This film is about District 3.
The 3rd district is the poorest district in the Kansas City area. The income level is the lowest.
This is the poorest part of Kansas City, so we're in an area where the average household income is $30,000 and less, so we're in the underserved community of our population.
Kansas City has long been considered a hotbed for technology and innovation, so much that in 2012, Google officially launched its ultra-high-speed internet service, Google Fiber, and chose Kansas City as the first city in the world to receive it.
We're very excited to announce today that we'll be building both Kansas City, Kansas and Kansas City, Missouri together as a starting point for our fiber initiative.
Within a few years, all the other big internet service providers followed suit, and the entire metropolitan area became a booming hotbed of futuristic, blazing speed internet, corporate investment, and gorgeous architecture. Kansas City was on the rise, and everyone in the city was benefiting. Everyone except the 3rd district. 31% of people in the 3rd district don't have access to the internet. And if I can paint a comparison, in the 2nd district, that number is only 2%. That's not a coincidence.
The urban area is not connected to broadband so that they can get critical information and everything you need to learn in this new 21st century.
The internet may have been a luxury years ago, but these days, the internet is a necessity, and nothing made that more clear than the COVID-19 pandemic.
When COVID hit, it multiplied the problem hundreds of times. We saw examples of kids outside McDonald's, outside the library, where they could get the Wi-Fi and so forth.
What we experienced in the COVID was schools shut down. The children had to have internet access so they could communicate their homework assignments and et cetera, to be able to correspond back and forth with the teachers. And so because this neighborhood did not have access, or a lot of the families and children did not have access to high-speed internet, they failed.
In July of 2021, Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas, who grew up in the 3rd District, and Chief Innovation Officer Melissa Kazakowicz decided to come up with a plan. If no one from outside of the community can come and fix the problem, maybe someone in the community could fix it. They needed a hero, and they found him.
I've had a lot of times when people told me what I should be doing, and they told me what I couldn't do. And I was always that one that would say, okay, if you say I can't do that, that's what I'm going to do.
This is William Wells. Now, before I go any further, I want to say one thing. I don't throw the word genius around, ever. However, William Wells is a genius. I'd even go as far as saying he's a super genius. He's a member of the National Society of Black Engineers, and he's the founder of Esteem Village. Esteem Village is a nonprofit education center located in the heart of the 3rd District. They specialize in teaching kids from the urban core science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM. However, they also put an emphasis on the arts, hence the A. The other A means all-inclusive. Or if you ask Aaron, awesome.
I believe the beauty of our program is we are not a school. And since we are not a school, we do not teach them in a way so that they have to pass a test in order to get an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F.
A lot of kids were not prepared for being in the grades that they were in, or they were short on some learning keys. But when they get into this program, what I see is different. William has them believing that, okay, you get a second chance. And some of the kids that had deficiencies in reading, he would not let that be an excuse. And we discovered that these kids would raise their reading levels on their own because they wanted to participate on the team and not be the weak link in the team.
Wow.
And we saw grades at schools they were attending increase. We heard it from their parents. So that's when I said, okay, boy, we got a thing here. We got a magic piece here.
When you have access to information, you can make better decisions if you can process the information. So the thing that I desperately want communities, especially in low-income areas, to realize is that you have everything you need to solve your own problems within your community.
Now, I'm going to say one of the most insane things you've ever heard in your entire life. William's solution to the 3rd District not having adequate internet was to build the internet himself. But it gets even crazier. The people who are building this internet with him are the kids at Esteem Village. Children from the 3rd District. If you went around the United States or any place really where something like this was happening, how often are you going to see 14-year-old kids from quote-unquote underserved, unprivileged areas installing their own broadband internet?
Rural and urban.
Rural and urban, I apologize, you're right.
Shame on them. Shame on them. They're your greatest assets. The world is a classroom. So why not include the kids that are born into it, growing up in it, living it, why not include them in your solution?
What I like about this project is that it empowers young people from the 3rd District to actually come in and do the work. Doing it this way affords our Kansas City youth an opportunity to expand their imaginations and maybe learn some career pathways along the way.
If you put in our address in Google Fiber, AT&T, and Spectrum, and say we want fiber at this location, all 3 would come back that we can't have fiber. You can't get fiber. I knew better. So what we did was we got fiber from a tier 1 provider. Our network bypasses AT&T, Time Warner, and Spectrum.
Where is your network located? Is it here?
It's here.
Is it in this building?
Right next door.
This is truly an insane yet beautiful sight to see. According to William, Esteem Village's internet can scale infinitely. That means they'll never run out of space for people from the 3rd District or nearby neighborhoods. Now, I want to show you a couple locations from the 3rd District where Esteem Village's internet is already installed and is functioning great.
Right now, we serve about 170 children every 24 hours with a footprint capacity of 450 every 24 hours.
Myron McCant and his wife Penny McCant saved up for 9 years to build a $4 million, 14,000 square foot daycare called Katy Academy on 21st and Prospect. Katy Academy is the only 24-hour daycare center in the entire state of Missouri. One of the big corporate internet giants installed such outdated internet that it was completely unusable.
I take Katy Academy. You know, you see that beautiful building? That beautiful building, brand new building. It broke my heart when I saw that, when I saw what he was going through.
The state requires us to have a strong internet service because that is how we link our services in the times that our children come in. That's how we register that with the state Department of Family Services. And we were not able to do that. We had to go back to using pen and paper.
By us going in and upgrading his bandwidth and looking at his and redoing his network, now he can operate as a 21st century organization.
And he deserves to.
He deserves to.
Especially with what he's doing.
Yeah. He's trying to make our community prosper.
For anybody that's followed me in my career, they know that I've always taken matters into my own hands and done everything independently. However, William Wells and Esteem Village are taking independence to a completely new level. They're trying to revolutionize their own economy, and it is absolutely mind-blowing. And not only to witness the belief William has in the kids, but to witness the belief the kids have in him.
Tell me about William Wells.
Something about Mr. Wells is that he's really understanding, and like he always tries to put everybody in the best position possible.
He gave me lots of opportunities, and I think Mr. Wells is really impacting the community.
William is inspiring, William is amazing, and William is making a difference in the 3rd District.
One really good word that describes him is visionary. A lot of times, when he's thinking of things, he's not thinking of things short term, he's thinking long term. And maybe at the time, some individuals might not see it, but all his ideas that he comes up with, everything's long term. He's thinking of things that's going to impact these kids on the long run, right?
Each one of these kids has a different story, a different background, and a different purpose. And to William Wells, the only thing they need is an opportunity.
I can honestly sit here and say I've never looked at anybody and said they're going to be a lot of work. I looked at a piece of paper of a drawing of a molecular structure, and I looked at it and said, who did this? And they told me it was this kid that was autistic. And the first thing that came to my mind was, there's some more untapped talent. You're busy trying to diagnose that as a illness or a disability, when actually the one with the disability is probably us. We should be asking him how to solve some of these problems.